Hello there, it's Decisive Sloth checking in. This is the first of the video series of my portfolio bees making a abandoned factory floor. I'm using Unreal Engine, as you can see here. This program is absolutely amazing. I'm really loving this. It's insanely great. So this portfolio piece, yeah, I've actually had a dream of making some kind of real-time asset showcase, something that can actually kind of which really forced me to focus on some theme or some kind of like cohesive piece. I've done a lot of assets during the years and a lot of these independent pieces and bits and bolts and nuts and small machines and even some character models and stuff like that, but I have never really done anything that is really cohesive, which is really where I'm really forced to concentrate on a certain theme for I'm talking about a period of several weeks of modeling really and texturing and creating assets. So what I've done here is that I've just basically laid out some blocks. This is a first block out phase of this level, this short. Well, it's not really exactly a level, but it's a room. It could be part of a level. The idea here is that actually I had an idea for a game for this really small kind of indie game, and the idea of the game was that. It's called A Bridge. The title, I even made a short plot for the game, and the idea is that you kind of wake up in this abandoned factory complex, and you kind of lost your memory and so on, and in the usual nonsense stuff. But the game is basically this environmental puzzle game, and in the game there's going to be these entities, these kind of like ghosts, which are actually ghosts from dead people in the war, and you're unable to fight. There's no fighting in this game. There's no weapons, nothing like that. You just, the only way to solve the puzzle is to avoid those entities, and those entities always appear where there's water around, and the idea for the level for this showcase was that the player kind of walks into the room from there's going to be a door here, and he enters the room here, and then there's going to be puddles of water, there's going to be maybe some fire or some electricity here, maybe some generators there, and there are these entities in here in the center, and you kind of have to find a way around them, and you can make a choice. You can try to take this catwalk here, and there's going to be maybe some obstacles here. If you walk and you touch them, they might fall and make noise and then attract those entities to your position. Or it might be that when you walk, the catway start like break. Or you can take the lower case and you can go here and start to kind of go stealthy. You can go. I've designed. I'm going to design this level so that you can go behind. You can avoid them. So, but it isn't really. This thing isn't really about the game. It's more, of course, about, because I'm an environmental artist, so I want to kind of start to really study how to really use the PBR rendering and PBR textures. And I have done some assets like these. I just actually created today this. Well, I'm still plugging this out, so it doesn't make much sense to start to go like texturing. but I just couldn't help myself. I wanted to just put some UVs here, and then I just used the Unreal default kit metal rust. Yeah, and it looks really great. The scale is a little bit off. It should be way smaller scale, but I'm going to be using normal maps to create some bolts here on these, and then create variations to these assets. That some of them are broken. There might be even some huge damage. It might be that some of them are like fall down. Maybe these guys could have been fallen fallen like crazy positions here. The floor has come in, and because I want to put the water, I really want to put the water into this level, because it's the PBR rendering and you know, the PBR water, what I have seen in some crazy looking awesome examples, the water is look absolutely awesome. There's puddles of water here, and some dust maybe, and so that in this piece I just want to really really concentrate on the basics of environmental modeling, environmental texturing, and I think it's really exciting. And what's really great about the Unreal Engine is that you know, you can really just start to play. You can just, you know, throw yourself in there in the middle of the. I mean, I blocked this out. It didn't take too much long time to just, you know, build a couple of assets, these tileable assets, and just throw this place together really quickly, and then I'm already able to experience the scale and kind of understand what kind of scale we have here. Because the reason why we really do the blocking phase, and why we want to understand the scale, we want to really see that how the player really, how it feels to be in the place, and how the player will fit. You know, if you want to be, for example, that yeah, I want to be able to go behind these to hide myself from those entities. You know, I want to do that. I want to make sure that everything really works, and the blocking is really that phase where you just, you know, throw the geometry there and test it. It's really, you gotta do that if you're working in a studio, in a game studio, or you're working for a project, and you really it is necessary step. Because, you know, if we have a modeled, well, I actually kind of jumped ahead of myself and modeled these rather complicated looking pieces here, but basically I did actually test this with a simple wall, and I just wanted to make sure that kind of these guys really fit. So I mean, that's basically the idea, and from now on what I'm going to do is that there's going to be some of course these cylinders are not going to be much. There's going to be actually kind of generators here, some machines, a lot of debris. It's going to be like waste, a lot of thrown, because abandoned building here. So there's going to be a lot of abandoned things. Obviously, maybe the world has gone, those entities appeared in the world, and then world has gone into chaos, and people have disappeared. So it doesn't really matter. I'm not really that much. I don't think that it's. I'm not really super serious about, you know, whole interactive part of this, but I'm interested about learning and beginning to really just, you know, put myself in the situation where I really have to, you know, force. I have a deadline here. I'm putting myself a deadline end of November, which gives me roughly a month time to finish this, and by finish I mean that I've got all the assets, all the finished polished assets in place. I've got the textures there, and I've got the final effects here in the Unreal Engine, using some kind of, you know, light rays coming from here, and maybe this really lovely afternoon light coming into this godforsaken, awful looking old factory. So basically this is it, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next video, where I have more assets, more polished, well, not really maybe polished, but I have at least more things in here rather than this boring looking, just this basic concrete here. But looking forward to see you next time, and Decisive Slot here checking out.